Hello, and welcome back to the Love Island. We know Love Island podcast. Obviously, we are joined by a couple bombshells tonight. The villa might be done exploring, but I don't know that I am quite. So, very excited to be joined by two very fun guests here today. First, let me go ahead and introduce on my right, if you're watching the YouTube video, is my co-host on the Free Agents podcast, half of the Diary Room podcast, half of the We Know Dancing with the Stars podcast. Matthew Liguori, how are you doing?
Oh, I am doing so well. Hopped on with Kirsten on a daily earlier this season and was having so much fun then. It's like, oh, is the season going to keep up the steam that it's had all the way through? Maybe there was a little bit of a dip, but we are so back. This week has been so crazy, so much fun. Truly some all-time Love Island has been given to us for the past week. So we're blessed, and I'm blessed to be able to talk about it here with you guys.
There we are. And yeah, the other bombshell we have tonight, he is the guy, if you want to hear about the Traders, one half, my co-host of the Traders Canada podcast, indeed, co-host of the PAL. He's everywhere. It's Pooya. Pooya, how are you doing?
Scally, Ligouri.
Oh, boy.
Hello. Hey, y'all. I'm happy to be here. This is my first chance to get to talk about this season, so I'm very pumped. Happy to be with y'all.
Oh, excited to have you both here. I know Ligouri got to jump on a daily a little, as you just said, a little bit of how you were feeling about the season. Pooya, I guess since you did just get your first time here, how are you feeling about the season as well?
I agree with Matt. I feel like there was a dip at one point, and there definitely was a little bit of a, maybe we finally hit the slump, because I feel like for 2 seasons we've been experiencing quite some good stuff. But I feel like this season has also delivered in a different way, and we'll definitely talk about it more extensively. But it's been fun. The drama's been delivering. I think the arguments have been delivering. So I've been here for that. There are people to root against heavily. There's a couple of people to root for. I did not end up liking the people that I'm rooting for the most right now. They were like bottom in both sides for me. And now here I am rooting for them to win the whole thing. So it's been a roller coaster, but in a good way.
It has certainly been a roller coaster. Obviously, coming off of last week, we finished out Casa Amor. We're getting a little bit of the fallout there, but we really, not to bury the lead, get at least about a half of movie night. Ligouri, how hard do you think movie night is hitting so far?
I mean, it's delivering. I feel like we were speculating. So I've been, stealing you for a chat from Kirsten, as I keep saying all season. I keep pulling you over on our Patreon, talking as much as possible about the show because I can't shut up about it. And so we were speculating that maybe it was going to be on Friday when Sierra and Teffy on After Sun were talking about it's coming up this week. It's like, all right, we need some time to gather the clips, but they could not wait. And I'm happy for that. I understand the frustration that we're all feeling that it ends up being split into 2 nights, but we got 2 movie nights, so that's fine. It definitely was off to a fun start. It was just really funny tonight as we do see some people starting to get back to like a good place. Friendships are coming back together. Maybe people are being either forgiven or kind of just forgotten about, but then they're like, oh shit, here we go again. The guys are like, oh, it's over for us. We're back in hot water. And of course that is where we end the night. So off to a pretty good start.
Yeah, I think that's where I'm at. I mean, obviously, I hear movie night and especially watching it, I'm like, inject it straight into my veins. I am ready for movie night immediately. I want it so bad. I am thinking about it every season, every single clip that I am watching. I am waiting. That would be a good movie night clip. That would be a good movie night clip. And I'm waiting. But Pooya, do you think the timing was right? Are we a little too early on movie night or what's your vibe?
I think this was perfectly fine for me. I think, like Matt said, especially the start of episode 25 felt like, oh, everything's patched up. Like every problem that came out of the reuniting of Casa and Villa really was a little too peachy. So I think we needed to re-inject some of this back. Especially what we didn't want to happen was for people to just bury the hatchet completely, and then in a week from now they're like, oh well, this is old news, I don't even care anymore. Now the reality is a lot of these people, a lot of these boys, they don't be that honest. They're not giving you the full truth anyway. So you were always going to have a little bit of issues with what they were going to see. But no, this was the perfect timing, and maybe selfishly for Matt and I, because we get to talk about it tonight.
That did work out quite nicely for you two.
I was so happy when you said that. You texted me hinting that movie night was coming. I was like, oh,
you know, the biggest winner of this whole week, Amora, who just gets to be like put back into the villa. Connection going on with her and Gal we'll obviously talk about, but just like she's just like a fan jumping back into watching all the drama and maybe stirring it up a little bit, and I'm jealous of her more than anybody else. I mean, I'm glad that we get to be a part of it in this way, but she's just living it up right now.
Yeah, it's been really funny to see. Obviously, we do end up getting some people rejoining the villa, but I'm going to jump back in time for a minute, go all the way back to the end of Casa Amor. The recoupling happens. We are left in shambles. These couples have still not patched things up. And it is, let me bring you back to a time in which Amora was not back in the villa. Carl, not yet back in the villa.
Oh.
And Aniya is having a hard time walking away from the fire pit, very upset over KC. Ligouri, how was watching this for you?
I mean, because I was blowing up your phone. I was losing my mind watching this, genuinely losing my mind. I mean, I just wanted to jump through the screen and give Aniya the biggest hug possible. I was so glad that Melanie was there to comfort her throughout all of this, because she was saying exactly what I hoped that I would have said in that situation, giving her the love and the comfort and everything. But just like to hear the breakdown that Aniya was having, like, reality TV is reality TV for a reason, because it's real people, living their lives and having real things play out. And Aniya was going through a real thing that night, and she still is, but that was like the peak of it. And just to watch her having that breakdown while she feels like people are laughing at her, maybe they're not actually laughing at her, but they're laughing and they're having fun while she's going through like the worst night she's had in a month, maybe more, who knows. It was really compelling, and I felt so bad for her, and of course that makes it all the more satisfying when eventually Carl's going to come back, and we'll get there. But it was a really rough watch to start that episode, and I was really just so grateful for Melanie.
Yeah, I felt like as much as I might have expressed, I'm in the like, okay, well, I don't know that we needed to continue the storyline. I think that unfortunately it was coming to a natural conclusion. I did really, really appreciate getting the scenes between Aniya and Melanie at the beginning of this week, and maybe more on that later in reverse at the end. So I thought that was like really cute and cool. Cut to everyone else at the fire pit saying, I don't really understand what the big deal is, Pooya. What happened?
First of all, if not for Melanie, I genuinely think Aniya would have left that night. Like, I think that this is probably the closest I remember seeing someone be on the brink of an exit. It was so funny, though, watching the fallout as everyone's getting reunited. Because I think for a lot of them, they're like, well, I'm back with my couple, or I didn't miss my couple anyway, so I'm here with my new thing, and we're all reunited. It should be a good time. So it is funny that some people were like, what's happening? Why is all this holler and hooting happening? Like, it's not a good spot to be in if you're Aniya, but it's especially funny for us as the audience when people like KC are sitting there just no idea what's going on and why it's happening.
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely annoying seeing KC laughing and talking about like, all right, you know what, like this is the first time I'm picking myself. I think I was almost more annoyed by Zach being like, we just had a really good vibe in Casa, and now they're just stepping all over it. Like, ooh,
Zach's the worst. Can we listen? Zach sucks. Maybe not the worst, but I don't like Zach, and I just want that on the record because I feel like he has a good way of cleaning his act up every now and then.
Let's put him back on the radar. We're gonna go couple by couple. I feel like at times I've liked Zach, at times I've not. I think in this stretch, I have just pulled out certain little clips where he'll be coming up and just like, that annoyed me, and I hope that Zach got off like a little bit easy in his like personal movie night clip. I kind of want a Zach shit talking movie night clip because I feel like that could fill up the entire Thursday episode.
Yeah, I mean, look, Zach, a lot of the guys were particularly horrible to watch throughout these many episodes, especially at this point. So we'll get into plenty of that. I also want to give a special shout out to Parmida, who was being especially horrible to watch during these proceedings. Well, boys will be boys, they'll make mistakes. It's like, you are not you're not hitting the right buttons here. Take several steps back, please, before you continue with what you are giving to me here. So that was rough. But I also appreciated I don't want to get too far past this before shouting out Melanie's Build-A-Bear comment, because that was one of my favorite. You're too good for this, Aniya. You got to fucking Build-A-Bear over here. We're not doing that shit.
It was ironic hearing Parmida talk about like, yeah, we are handling this well because like we are 25 and 27-year-old women, not 21 and 22, then have like all of the men crashing out for the entire week. This is the ones that she's generally standing by. So I think it's like a little tough of a comparison.
It's interesting because I do think that, and I think I've seen some people mention this. I don't know if it's confirmed. I don't know if it's just we're assuming, but like someone had to have talked to everybody there, right? Because I do feel like in this batch of episodes, the friction between the women had calmed down. I do think for Parmida, and I'm saying this ahead of time, I am not her lawyer and I'm not defending her because she's Persian. Let's just put that out the way. I think when you come into an environment where you have been talking to like the same 5-6 people and suddenly there's a new group of 5-6 people who are ready to be mad at them, there's a level of like, well, I don't know the full context, but I'm gonna back my people. And then I think, Matt, you rightly said, just take a seat. Like, you legitimately did not need to be involved with this. Let them all have their nonsense and you will be fine. Take the Amora route, get some popcorn and just sit. Just wait a little.
May I cut a head, Scally, and just scream about Parmida and Corbin wanting to close things off?
Oh my God.
On day 3 of knowing each other, and they have a conversation. Are you ready to close things off? I'm ready to close things off. Are you? And it's not just lust, right? Like, because people think that this is just lust between the two of us. Like, no, this is a real connection, right? Like, but like, are we going to close things off?
Is this like a Sesame Street season where the season's brought to you by the word lust? Because why did this become the word of the season? Being lustful, I've legitimately never used, and I've been in relationships, I've written stuff, I've written, long posts, letters. The word lust has never been there. Why is it so prevalent? I don't understand.
You're a lover, and you
Apparently,
feel the real love.
Matt, I'm just a lover boy.
Some of these people are just feeling the lust, and Corbin's definitely seeming to be one of them, just from where I'm sitting. And I don't know, Kenzie may not be all that far off. We of course have their split here, where Corbin's going to go his way, and Kenzie's got some options on her own. But their stories are kind of looking very similar as we proceed forward into the season.
The whole lust
time.
The whole lust
crazy
has been very bizarre, to the point where I'm like, has lust taken on a new meaning, like preppy over time? Like, has this been a new thing? I think there's just this weird differentiation in this villa, and maybe it's just the culture of it. Maybe it's just the Love Islanders get younger and younger. Maybe things will change. So I guess we will see with next season. But as far as Corbin and Parmida closing things off, when she says like, yeah, I think I'm good, when there's 2 other single people in the house and maybe one other bombshell on the whole season that's going to come in at the most, I don't think that's like the biggest statement to be making at this point, as opposed to people who have either built it up or have made things like Zach and Kayda earlier in the season.
I think she already has a wedding ring in her pocket, and she's going to propose, because this is lightning speed for these two. And it's funny. I mean, like, thinking about the two of them during the challenge, which I can't wait to talk about as well. When she's creaming Corbin, being like, well, this is a warning shot. You better not do it to me. It's like, well, he's going to, so just be prepared. You are prepared because you're giving him that warning shot. But yeah, sure. Close things off. Let's do it. This is
I do feel
great.
The what's it called? The play set has to be amazing. The playlist has to be great. The DJing has to be off the charts. The fries have to be in the bag, bro, because I feel like the conversations aren't there, but I don't think these two need that. And I think that's okay. Remind me, Corbin is the one that Corbin and Parmida were the ones that had messaged with each other before, right? Like briefly.
A little bit, just about like they were going to work out. Yeah, none of this. They scammed the season. They set it up.
We're not getting Ace and Shelly allegations here. I don't think anyone's sweating about that being the result of the season either. To be fair,
this perfect couple that came in together. No, I don't think that was the allegations of anybody. I think with Parmida, that I understand the initial like, whoa, I'm in a new place. There's a whole bunch of people that are like, we're having a big conversation, argument, whatever you want to call it. So I don't even mind getting defensive. Like I kind of enjoyed Tiara getting defensive at points, but it was the talking points more that I rolled my eyes at. And so there's been a little bit of whiplash with Parmida and Corbin, where she's telling him like, yeah, you should patch things up with Kenzie, but then seeing him have a conversation with Kenzie and being like, it's so fucking annoying that I have to watch them. It's like, you told him to do this.
You
So I'm a
sent him,
little confused.
and then you took it back, but then you still were fine with him going, and the conversation didn't even go well, but she was miserable the whole time. Like you could have watched their conversation and seen that it wasn't going well, but she still wasn't thrilled that it was happening. She is something else.
Yeah. Were you guys shocked that at how the Corbin and Kenzie conversation ultimately did go and we got it?
No.
No, quite frankly, I was shocked the conversation happened, because the one thing Kenzie does well is just forget people that she's not, that she's done with. It doesn't surprise me at all. I feel like Corbin doesn't do himself any favors in the way he speaks. And I think that there are some people in this world where they can have these kind of conversations and it can get somewhere productive. These two needed a mediator there, and I don't think even then it was going to work out.
I just appreciate that Aniya and Kenzie both, and again, we'll get to Kenzie because she's got, things that are not, maybe hypocritical somewhere along the way as well. But
a little bit.
I appreciate that both Kenzie and Aniya are just like completely closing the door. Like you can argue, I guess, that about Aniya if she is or not, but I'm getting the sense, at least in like the last 2 episodes, that she is putting herself in a place of like, you know what, this is beyond repair. Like there's no going back to Casey. The door is closed. I don't have any interest in having these conversations anymore. So let's just not. They're going to have the one conversation, and same thing for Kenzie and Corbin. But for both Kenzie and Aniya, it's just like nothing you can say is going to make this any better. Maybe if they circle back around by the time the reunion comes around, maybe they can get somewhere peaceful. But for now, it's just like, you go over there, I'm going to stay over here.
I think what Corbin did right in this conversation was he came in immediately apologetic and wanted to have the conversation. But then as soon as she started talking, he got a little bit like, could you explain to me exactly what I did? And I think it's good to know what you're apologizing for, but you should probably know what you're apologizing before you already tried apologizing, and then not sound so defensive when you are trying to clarify.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think when you do that, you're invalidating your own apology by not knowing what you're apologizing for, right? And I think that once that becomes clear, then that's going to be annoying. Like you're reliving it all over again now, just getting angry about it. So
yeah. And so like glad that the era is over. Obviously it'll probably come up a little bit more with movie night, but the Corbin and
does Corbin
Kenzie
even need
of it
movie
all.
night? Like they saw it.
That is true. That is true. I assume we will get more. He had said stuff like all week long, and like, did we need even honestly like the Aniya and Carl movie night? Was that just to clear her name? We'll see. But I was kind of like, this is not a lot really going on. So I do think that there could be other movies that aren't like so shocking.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how long of movie night we're gonna get on Thursday's episode. My hope is it's the whole episode. I don't think that's
it could go into Friday.
Right. Movie night part 3. I think if we don't get the high school college girl comment, then something went wrong. Like that clip cannot just stay on the cutting room floor.
Yeah.
Put it in the projector.
While we're here, is there really anything else from Corbin and Parmida that you guys have on this week, or are we pretty much good to close the book on those two?
They're closed off. We're closed off. Yeah. I think we've said everything we need to say about their relationship.
No, really.
He's a wild human being. And now I'm thinking to like what other clips they could show, because when we talk about Melanie and Sincere and how far back they went with the clips for Sincere, it's like, well, Corbin's been in here for a minute as well and was, talking and exploring to multiple people. I don't know if there's any clips of him and Melanie that are going to be worthwhile to like make things messy.
Can I get a kiss supercut, Matt? I want that.
Yeah. I mean, like Corbin has like everything that's come out of his mouth could be used in movie night to some extent. It's just a matter of like, who are we trying to affect? Because Parmida is going to see all of that, everything that's come out of Corbin's mouth, and she's going to be like, it's okay, he said it one time, he made a mistake, it's okay, I forgive him, because that's just been her energy with him so far. And again, they're closed off, they're married, they have a wedding date already. It's going to air on Peacock. I think they've already signed up for their contracts, but otherwise we're good.
Yeah.
On them.
I do think we moved. Let's jump back into a little bit of the Casey, Tiara, Aniya, pre Carl coming in the villa. I will say I really did like the TT and Aniya conversation where everything was put to bed. This is not our issue. We do not have to have anything. Tiara even says, like, I want to have a relationship with you moving forward. I'm hoping to connect with you. So I did really like that. I think that, yeah, probably production did have a conversation with the villa overall of like, let's remember what we're doing here. But I kind of think that this was how the girls were attempting to approach the recoupling all the time, in just like, we're not talking to you right now, and I understand that you feel the need to be defensive, but like, as long as you can stay out of this, like, we'll be good. So I'm glad that got like reestablished moving forward.
Yeah, there's a lot of back and forth with TT and Aniya as far as like forming a bit of a friendship, and Aniya having like a lot of respect for her throughout movie night. She's talking about like, she's beautiful, she's smart, she's everything. I'm very happy that she's here. I think she's great. But then like cut a couple minutes later, and you have TT kind of like pushing back onto some of the stuff that Aniya was saying. And so like I don't know, like I don't think she was necessarily trying to like throw Aniya under the bus, but it's just like she wants to, like TT wants to find a spot where she is like not completely against the girls in the way that Parmida seems to be fine doing, but she also wants to be defending KC, as she says, like, I will defend you till the end of the world. But like, also very like much in love with this guy and ready to, you know, go down with the ship regardless.
Yeah. We obviously haven't dove into it in detail on movie night yet, but just and so like I need to evaluate that all through our later conversation. But just the fact that we got to the point where Aniya was like explaining to the guys, it was where TT was explaining to the guys in how they were holding Aniya like responsible in the wrong ways versus what Casey did, and Aniya was thanking TT for jumping in and like defending her.
Yeah.
I was like, this is where I want to get, where all of the girls are best friends. And yeah, they can fight and there can be drama, but then eventually we will end up like in good places. So, and not like a season 7 where I don't think any of them talk to each other anymore.
Yeah. And there's nothing those men hate more than when those girls are bonded and on the same page. It drives them crazy, and they don't know what to do with
double
themselves.
standards, y'all. The double standards.
Oh yeah, just
we're not here for that.
I think we're going to talk about Aniya moving forward. I think we got to talk about first the Hot Girl Bakery Challenge, where we have the return of Love Island superfan, absolute star of a guest star. Megan Thee Stallion comes back in to host another challenge yet again. Pooya, what do you think about the challenge this time?
Well, first of all, was this unadvertised? Was this a surprise?
It felt like
because I heard nothing about her coming back.
Yeah. I feel the same. I am, less on social media than I used to be, I would say, but I was pretty blindsided. Maybe in a first look was when we find out about it at the first, but it was not super on my radar unless Ligouri, you saw anything before us.
I didn't see anything either. I mean, it was like around a couple hours before the episode that I feel like I heard that she was going to be back in, which look, this is what Ariana was doing before she hosted the show, that she was like hopping in on challenges. I don't know if it was 2 seasons in a row, but she was like a known super fan of the show, and they called her in to come do stuff. So, Meg Thee Stallion is also obviously in the same page. By the way, is it Meg or Megan? I'm sorry. I'm not super familiar.
We're not in her inner circle, so it's Megan to us.
Megan, okay, very good.
You can do Megan Thee Stallion or Meg for short.
Okay, my apologies and my embarrassment showing all over my face. But Megan Thee Stallion, a big super fan of the show, obviously, and so she's loving coming in just as much as the rest of them are loving having her. She came in and she said, "Who's doing French fries? Stop talking about it, or just tell me everything about it at the same time." So she was having the time of her life last season, this season. Let's make it a recurring thing.
Yeah, I think it's so fun having her in here and just giving a little bit of insight and jokes to the Islanders. Sometimes they understand the jokes to their faces, and sometimes it's making fun of them and they don't know. So I think that's all fun, even, giving the boys a little bit of shit openly. So I think that's all good and fun. I think that these 3 challenges were all fun and silly, but to my opinion, varying degrees of success on entertainment value.
Yeah.
I think
I was just like, when are they going to pop out of the cake?
Right. No, so for me, the musical chairs didn't do much for me. As much as I love a good bit of dancing, good bit of twerking, I'm not a fan of the cake on the butt. That doesn't make me want to have either more. You know, it makes me want to have both
Cake
less.
on cake.
So
Cake
right.
on cake.
Yeah, I like my cake singular. I don't need it to be pluralized there. But aside from that, I think, you know, people getting caked and creamed was a good time. I thought that was fun. I will say, very funny the varying skill levels needed for this, because it did look like creaming was going to be a lot easier than using. I historically have a horrible throwing arm. So I was like, oh yeah, I would have been fuming. I would have missed my target for sure. And I would have been done.
Yeah. I can't complain because one of the people to miss, right, was KC. And so I did laugh pretty hard at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Especially after he popped up and it's like, I wish I had multiple cakes. I would get all of you.
I love that. I love that you had to talk your shit first and then shit the bed. Like, it was perfect.
I love the call outs of people that were like turning their head and they're like, don't turn your head, take it. What are you doing? Calling those people out.
Because I feel like KC was turning his head quite a bit. And if I remember correctly, was KC not the main person complaining about Soul turning her head in the pie challenge? So if we want to talk about double standards, boys.
Put it on movie night. Cue it up.
There were so many people that were like not reading the room. I thought of who they were caking or who they were creaming, you know, one or the other. Corbin caked Kenzie, and it's like, you are getting all this shit because you were disrespectful to her specifically, not anybody else. And you're going to double down on that and throw a cake in her face. Are you kidding me? We also had Dylan caking Aniya, and it's like, read the room. You don't have to pick a side. Don't pick a side. Why are you making it seem like you are against Aniya's perspective in all of this by caking her? Yeah. There were some people that I think, was he maybe the one that was like, oh, because you got rid of Carl and he was my friend.
Yes.
And they love Carl.
That's what it was.
BS.
No way,
don't
Dylan.
throw a cake right
way.
now. This is not the time.
In which he calls himself one of the OG Casa boys. That's not a thing. No, that's no. There are no OG Casa boys. Right. There's no additional Casa boys.
Yeah, there's no Casa boy bombshells. Like, what are we doing here?
No Alana replacement came in, because then maybe I would consider.
Sincere caking Jen because she's always got something to say that doesn't involve her. I was like, where's this beef coming from?
Yeah. Also, Jen says stuff. I've been unaware of this.
Jen says a lot of stuff, actually, and I laugh at a lot of it. So it's not meaningful stuff, but she does say stuff. And apparently she loves Taylor Swift. That's been a thing this whole time.
Apparently.
What?
Yeah, the biggest Swiftie fan in the world.
Ian Sterling is like using that as the only thing he has to talk about for her. So there's that.
Not a single clue. I did like, though, Sincere being like, yeah, and she's brand new. She's like, I've been here for 2 weeks.
I mean, to be fair, we didn't think she would still be here at this point. Definitely didn't. But she's been here that whole time.
Literally been there from the same time Soul was there and stayed after that, and still being called brand new is pretty funny.
Yeah.
Caleb cakes Parmida, which I thought was funny. He's like, she ghosted me. Like, Caleb, I'm glad you're getting your moment here because
Caleb's here.
What else? Exactly. And I'm glad she got caked. So there was that. But also then Megan Thee Stallion jumps into with the KC caking of Trinity, and he's like, do you not hear what they're saying? Like, do you not remember what happened in Casa? Like, hello? Anybody home? Hello.
Yep. Yeah, I like that she did jump in on the, like, you guys can explore. It's about being disrespectful, like really trying to hammer it home. And so even when then the girls get to cream the guys, and TT steps up and says, like, Sincere, like, you're cool, but I do think you're toxic and two-faced. Like, let's get the conversation started, Tiara. I'm very excited.
You just don't recover from, someone with the notoriety of Megan Thee Stallion coming into the villa and telling you that you ain't shit.
Nope.
No.
Unless we have anything else to jump in on the specifics of there, I think what this really comes down to is we get a final showdown. Whoever finds the heart gets the prize, and what do you know it? The prize is the results of the vote from the other night. We have 2 people returning. Amora's back. Oh my god! And Yay! What do you know? Aniya's new love interest, Carl, has re-entered the villa. Any shocks here?
No. Who were the who would have been second on the ballot is my question.
What was her name?
Right.
Exactly.
I don't
Look,
remember.
I like
I'm
Sydney.
sorry. Sydney. I was going to say Kelsey. I don't know where that came. Yeah, Sydney was cool. She was involved in movie night, right? That was a.
She made a cameo in the KC clips. Yep.
Make a cameo. That is true. So congratulations to Sydney for her final 10 seconds of screen time on the season, unfortunately. But I was pretty excited. I know that I was someone who came in saying it like in the first vote of the season where like who are sold Jen and Gabe gonna couple up with. Like Love Island has kind of made these decisions for us as an audience, I feel like, in just showing us only one option and then asking us to vote between a bunch of people we don't know. So that all made sense to me. And I was kind of the like, I don't want producer driven drama, but like now that Carl's back, I am enjoying the Carl and Aniya of it. Not that I never thought that I would enjoy it. And I still am anti-producer interference in a lot of ways. But now that it's already happened,
join me in the results-oriented way of thinking in life. It's great over here. We have a lot of fun.
Yeah, I would say that I am, now happy that Carl is here, though someone is happier, and that is KC, who says he is, quote, ecstatic that Carl's here so that Aniya can, quote, get off his dick, which I thought was an absolutely insane way to say this, given all of the context.
Yeah, I mean, it's tone deaf. She is quite literally couldn't be on your dick less. She wants nothing to do with you. But, he does see himself as the hero of the story, and the women of the villa now get to see his power, Scally. So
and I am not like when he says basically like, let's see how great of a guy he is to you. I'm not someone who's saying like Casey is the worst person in the world. That's not what I'm saying. But I don't think you want to have a great guy off with Carl. Like everyone is saying is the perfect specimen of a Love Island bombshell.
Yeah.
A great guy off. It's great. No, but Casey and Corbin are literally like they're jumping at every opportunity that's coming their way to get the attention off of them. And so that's why Casey doesn't want to have this conversation. That's why Corbin, same thing. And Corbin was foaming at the mouth at the idea of like, what happened when we were gone? What was Aniya doing? Oh, she was exploring her connection with Carl. Casey, wait till you hear this. Aniya was also exploring her connection. And then let's talk about movie night when we get there. But they're like, oh, see, Aniya did have feelings for Carl. And like, just nobody's understanding, like nobody being the guys, not a single second of them understanding what any of the women are trying to say. It's like, if you just comprehend it and show that you are apologetic for it genuinely, then maybe they'll start to like back off a little bit. But they're so afraid of all these confrontations because they're like, the women won't, leave us alone, because you don't get it.
I don't know how else they need to be told that, hey, dummies, they watched y'all drool over women you had not met yet and talk about how little you cared about the people you had been with for 3 weeks. That's the issue. Not you then talking, getting to know them, not you dating, not you kissing. It was that moment that did all of this, because they got to see it unedited. They don't see that. They think it's a tit for tat thing of like, wait, so you guys did nothing and we did everything. Is that what you're saying? No, that's not what they're saying. They literally whooped you in the challenge where it was house versus villa. So what are we doing here? I don't think they get it. I think they're a little bit dense, but also the memory is very selective. So
it is tough. Ultimately, we do get a conversation between Casey and Aniya. It takes about 7 episodes to get there, but he finally does pull her. And Casey hates the word coward, but when it took 15 times going back and forth of you speak first, no, you speak first, no, you speak first, no, you speak first, I was rolling my eyes so hard. Like, how are you going to pull someone and then say, I don't know what I want to say to you?
I gotta say, none of the actual conversation mattered a bit to them, so it didn't matter a bit to me. So my favorite part was at the end when Casey said, one more hug. And she said, fuck no.
Oh my God. He really did try and get a where's my hug at the end.
One more hug?
He did. One more for all time's sake?
It's just like, continuing to not read the room. And I
Yeah.
know they're outside. Maybe it's not quite a room, but it's very clear that even if you walked away from this conversation on okay terms, you're not in a hug. Like, this isn't like,
No.
okay, we can even have a laugh about this. It's like, okay,
Yeah.
I won't like, like be upset or angry to look at you in the villa. It's just like baby steps to get there, but he wanted a hug.
The conclusion of this conversation to me so clearly was we can coexist in the villa for the remainder of our time here. It was not a we're friends again. So you're gonna go hit up Carl? Is that what you're doing?
Yep.
Big Carl, huh?
Yep.
Like, and that's exactly what he did. He was like, we should go hook up with Carl.
We're not in this joking place. For me, it was the refusal to start the conversation, so he had nothing to say, but then claiming that he had so much to say at the recoupling, but since they all interrupted him, that, I actually forgot everything and I don't remember anything. And then later being like, I'm sorry for everything. Is that enough already? Like, are you done with me now? There's so many things that he's doing and saying that are making it come off so like disingenuous. And so even when I am trying at points to just be like, all right, you know what? Casey is being like very, very heavily villainized online. Like, is there any part of where you're like, okay, maybe tonight he won't be that bad and he won't say stupid stuff. But every conversation at this point is where it's been the problem.
Yeah. Can we stop down here? And I want to rewind to something I said earlier, which was the couple I'm rooting for the most now was the two people I was not really feeling at the beginning of the season. The couple I was rooting for beginning of the season had Casey in it. Like that, and now Casey has basically become the villain to me. Maybe not holding more hate than most people on him, but I do see all the faults. I do see like he thinks he's hot shit. I don't know why. It's like, did you forget that no one had a door open for you? Like, did that humbling went away?
He did not forget that, trust.
But he should remember it more because he's carrying himself like everyone was at his door, which is not the case. Yeah, I think that I think with him but I am intrigued by his relationship with TT, and I'm very curious where that goes from here because I do think TT is good for him. And I think that from everything I've seen from TT's been a standout. So it really comes down to, is he going to treat her the same? I don't think there's going to be anyone that's going to turn his head with her. So I'm just curious how they build from here.
Yeah, I obviously agree, Scally. Just like the way that the internet has, taken to Casey, obviously at this point, you can understand how we've gotten to where we are and why everyone is viewing him so negatively. And I'm obviously in that camp as well. I certainly don't think he's like the worst person alive. I don't think he's like the worst man that we've had on this show. Like, there are so many worse. But he's one of the worst of all time at recognizing he did something wrong and finding an apology.
Yes.
Like, that's the problem. It's just if he accepted or understood for even a half of a second that he did something wrong and tried to make it right, then we can get into a good place. And it's like, look, we've seen this guy through all these weeks so far to know that he's not one of the worst guys out there by any means. And that's Aniya knows that. Like, she's not trying to bring him all the way down to the pits of hell on the way, like while she runs over him. She's just like, she's heard. These are two people that had really strong feelings at the beginning. I think both of them thought that this was going to be something real. Aniya obviously maintained that feeling all the way throughout while Casey was starting to fade out of having interest. Got to Casa, was like, oh yeah, I'm ready to find someone else, did find someone else, and hasn't thought twice about the decision to leave Aniya. So again, just very complicated feelings between the two of them where there was something strong at one point. So it's just all it would take is one genuine apology from KC to not, I think, even from the audience's perspective, to not be as on him as we all are right now.
That's what I think, is especially getting movie night was a nice reminder of like, oh, here are all of the things that have gotten me to the point with Casey where I am. So when we get back to back, like, I can't fix another person's trauma, like, and I'm frustrated with that. I'm fixing things that aren't broken. Like, okay, grandma, like in bed, like all of these things was like, I'm glad that she now has finally gotten the chance to see, because it makes a lot more sense to Aniya of like, oh, here's how he was not as into this as I was. And it's so much more clear getting to see all of the conversations that were happening when I was not around.
Yeah. She was missing it all. And people tried to tell her, obviously, towards the end of Casa, like, take someone back. You don't want to look stupid. And she's like, I might look stupid, right? I'm not going to look stupid. I look stupid. And that's what she's dealing with. Besides the feelings, she's dealing with the feeling of stupidity that the entire world is she's on the, I mean, let's also remember, she knows what show she's on. She knows how popular this show is. And she feels like the biggest idiot in the world on this grand stage. And that's tough.
Yeah. It's super hard, especially with the reaction of this. Even like the boys are jumping in. Like Bryce has been kind of the golden boy for a little bit, but even Bryce is like, no, we never said we were shocked. We never jumped in there, like, and getting caught up in a little lies. And I liked that Tiara was willing to call them out of like, you all had this conversation with me, you all did, and so if that's what you want to say, then fine, but don't act stupid now. So
yeah, you know what? Aniya's doing better. She's making out in Say Less. She was into that one.
She was ready to go like a lot further than
she said. What did she say? She said she wanted to do Say Less. She said. She said, "I wanted to." Oh, yeah, you heard her.
She thought she was going to.
She thought she was gonna,
fuck
Say Less.
Fuck Carl.
Carl
Not in the way that she was saying fuck Casey either.
It's very different. Fuck. There are levels to this.
Yes, indeed.
And you know what? Maybe someday she will. And lots of jealous people watching for both parties involved. Anyway, so hopefully that she's on the up and up there with Carl. I don't know. I mean, I feel like there's a lot of skepticism about like their relationship just because she didn't pick him the first time and yada yada. But like, I don't know. He seems to be forgiving and still open to this connection, and she seems to still be open to the connection, especially now that she knows that the other door is fully closed. So I do fully expect to see the two of them on finale night standing side by side, and by a week or so later we'll probably hear that they're just gonna explore their friendship outside of the villa, and that's okay. I'm content with where we are with them.
Yeah, we got a couple of some new people I'm ready to group together. I feel like it's been a little bit of them all kind of jumping between each other. Let's talk about Jen and Gall, but also how that's relating to the Kenzie and Dylan situation. Any real opinions on the Jen and Gall of it all, Pooya?
Yes. No, you know what? It's gonna sound mean.
Uh-oh.
Gall? Really? Maybe I don't get it. Maybe I don't see it. But the personality's not there. And I just feel like, the thing is, and I know Jen's gotten a lot of shit online for really not bringing much or not having much personality. Well, like when you are getting served up by Jen, you know how bad you've got to be in the personality department. Because I feel like, and maybe the show didn't do a good enough job of this, I've just not seen this Kenzie Gall thing at all, right? And it only came up when Gall brings it up about Kenzie, and then when Kenzie's bringing it up about Gall, and Jen being the one that gets to hear both sides of this. But other than that, I had not really seen them gel at all. It's funny because I kind of nothinged Jen before Casa started. And now I find myself hoping that the next person that comes in is for Jen, because I'm like, get you someone, because Gall is playing in your face.
Yeah, she's not going to have anybody, but I'm going to enjoy every second between now and when she is dumped from the villa, just because I'm finding her so funny. But as far as Gall is concerned, I mean, I would say, Pooya, I didn't get it either. And then I realized he was tall. He's tall Gall, and I didn't know that. Obviously,
6 foot Gall.
That's important to a lot of people. He is him and Kenzie's. So no, let me take it back to Kenzie. Is my theory on her has just been that she's looking for the chase, and I think a lot of people in the villa are picking up on the same thing. When we had Caleb handed to her, and she's like, "Oh, he's perfectly my type," and he was like showing her love and affection and all this stuff. She was like, "Nope, I want Corbin." And now you have Dylan here, who's like putting her out on the dock and doing the massage and showing her how much he cares about her. And she's like, "Oh, this is nice, but I think I want Gall, who is like slow rolling it with me a little bit more." And a lot is being made about Kenzie and how many, she always has 2 options at once. And it seems like she's happy in that place, which again is funny, just kind of the parallels of the story that she's had alongside Corbin, who's also not always looking in one direction. And now he's in because he got married tonight on the episode. But going forward, I don't know where Kenzie is going to really. I mean, we saw, I guess, how it all shook out, right? That she seems to have ended the episode with Dylan. But if Thursday starts back up and she's back to Gall, I won't be surprised. I don't think she can decide.
I agree with you. She loves the chase. I think the chase is very important for Kenzie. I do also want to ask, because this came up a few times with Gall, is making coffee that difficult for a lot of people? Because the amount of times they talked about him making coffee as an asset, I was like, it's just coffee. Like, I love coffee.
Hey,
but it's just coffee.
I'm not a coffee drinker, so I had to learn how once I got married, and my husband decided to ask me to make him coffee sometimes. So
the thing is that a couple things where I think there is a like much more manual coffee machine in the villa. I don't think we're working with a Keurig or anything, so a little bit more difficult. The level of amount that they have to learn is definitely on a higher curve here, but also Gall owns a coffee shop, which gets talked about. I absolutely died when Kenzie was like, and it's so perfect, I spend a lot of my time in coffee shops. I was like, what are you talking about? Like, what do you mean?
She said, take me to your office. I know the way.
It was so crazy. I was not so sure about Jen and Gall. I did not see so much of an issue with him wanting to explore. I will say, as far as my feelings on Jen, I kind of nothing Jen before Casa. Didn't love Jen in Casa, and now I am a Jen fan after Casa because I'm only seeing her side.
Aboard.
Like when Gall was saying, basically like, what do you mean? You have concerns? No, everything's perfect. Everything's fine. And he kisses and cuddles her. And then 6 hours later with no on-screen conversation says, I have major issues. You're being really aggressive. I don't ever want to speak to you again. I was like, what happened?
It's just not going to work. We don't work together. And then he goes to like other people. He's like, yeah, I told her it's not going to work. We're just not, we're not a match. It's like, what happened? Jen's now dealing with this from Gall and Kenzie. Like she's fighting with her best friend in the villa, and the guy that she likes the most isn't interested. She's going through it.
Did either of you see Gall's coffee shop on social media this week?
No.
So I was scrolling today, and it did land on my TikTok. That it was the employee saying, when your boss is on Love Island.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. They have very much stressed that the coffee shop is managed by women, run by women. All of the employees are women. And so
Corbin and Casey will never be going there. But
they did run a promotion of what is allegedly his coffee shop, saying, if your name is Jen, free coffee on us, Team Jen. So
that's amazing. That is a very popular name. That's a lot of coffee to give
true.
away. That's commitment.
Yeah,
that is commitment.
Yeah, I think as far as involving Kenzie in this, I think the Kenzie and Jen of it all, I didn't really have a huge issue with Kenzie exploring until one of my friends brought up the point to me of like, but if Dylan was exploring, how would Kenzie feel about it? If Jen wanted to explore with Dylan, how would Kenzie feel about it? And all of that made things click into a place a little bit more for me, where I had never been, the biggest Kenzie fan by any means, but had always been like, I wish people in this villa were exploring more. And it is more of the hypocritical nature in where we've seen Kenzie react to how one of her friends, Melanie, was exploring Corbin, and doesn't seem like they're not close anymore either since all of that. So that is where I'm like, okay, I understand a lot more of the criticism for Kenzie exploring here.
Yeah, look, if Kenzie doesn't want to explore Dylan, I think a lot of people will the second that the season comes to an end. I've seen a lot of love. Dylan crying in this episode made me so sad. I felt so bad for him when Kayda and Zach ran over to like comfort and hug him, because it's just like, this guy seems perfectly chill and normal, and he just found a girl he had a big crush on, and he keeps talking about, I opened up my heart to her. Like, I don't know, we talk, the silly phrase of who's going on these shows for the right reasons. Dylan might be here for the right reasons. He might be here for love.
Matt,
disagrees.
The double standards, Matt, because you be talking about Parmida and Corbin getting married, and now suddenly
I'm happy for them. I'm so happy.
Feelings McDylan. No, and see, the thing is, I felt bad for Dylan, but I was also like, Dylan, you've been with her 3 days. Like,
But that's enough for all these couples.
Yes, but also you watched footage. You know what kind of girl Kenzie is. Like, you know, Kenzie does like her some exploring. You know, Kenzie be kissing. And I think that, you know, Kenzie has kind of vocalized that she'd be interested in getting to know him. It's uncomfortable. Like I've always talked about, I would never be on this show because I don't think I could handle being in this situation. So I felt bad for him, but at the same time, I was also like, Dylan, come on. Like when there was that scene of Kenzie caressing his neck as he's like weeping, I was like, part of me, I'm not gonna lie, Matt, I thought we were about to get a confessional where Kenzie says she got the ick from him. I genuinely was surprised that escalated into being fine moving forward.
She got something from him in bed that night, even though they were fighting all day and things weren't going well. And that literally, he cried to people about her and then went in bed and the sheets were moving. So all's well that ends well.
Even Zach and Kayda called that out, like, oh, they're doing stuff. Like, the stuff is going on. And I did feel bad. Look, I'll admit, when Dylan walks away even from the conversation and is like crying in Kayda and Zach's arms, I was like, oh my God, you barely know this person.
So bad. Yeah.
And so I am on the same team of like, we don't know them that well. Like, I'm a little shocked that this is how big the reaction is, but I feel bad in that he expected like a more open level of communication that he doesn't feel like was necessarily afforded to him. So I think I'm not really investing as hard in Dylan and Kenzie because I just don't know if I have seen the signs that this is going to be a lasting thing yet, but I thought it was interesting, at least, that Kenzie is like, yeah, now that I made out with Gall, I have literally no interest in him. So that's over.
5th place will look nice on them.
That is, yeah, about that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. If we make it that far at this point.
Do you think the makeout was really bad with Gall that caused this?
Because she was done as soon as that was over. She got it out of her system and she said, I'm good. I like Dylan. So I don't know what else it possibly could have been.
Yeah,
bad breath, bad kiss or something, because she has not looked back. And granted, her and Jen have had deeper conversations since all of that's happened, but I don't think Kenzie would care about how Jen's feeling. That's not the vibe that I'm getting. I think the kiss didn't do it.
Yeah. You guys want to talk about Caleb and Jaden?
Oh.
All right. You guys want to talk about Bryce and Trinity?
No, I say because this episode was like the first time we got a deeper insight into them, and it was Jaden saying, I don't know about this.
Yeah. She's like, I don't know.
It was like, welcome to the show. And she said, I don't know. He's not, she's like looking for somebody a little bit more dominant, she said. And Caleb is not that. Oh, he's a child. But...
Yeah.
I can tell you like being dominant.
Look, I don't expect this one to go anywhere. I wondered if they almost were like, here's the setup for when they leave the villa very shortly. You know, the audience loves Caleb, and I feel bad for them that they don't get this true Caleb love story that they're looking for. Maybe Amora is the girl for him.
You talk about, I heard you say this to Rob at least, and this is obviously a kind of a thing in Love Island, that it's kind of like frowned upon for bombshells, maybe Casa people to start getting with each other. That's not really a thing, but like we're at the point now where a lot of these people are like probably recognizing who knows how many other people are coming in. And if I'm Jaden and I'm like, maybe Dylan's not in a relationship. So Dylan, Gall, anybody that's not Caleb, let me explore.
Will say congratulations to Jaden and Gall for the one night they explore and then they can go home. Like I don't
leave
think
the next night. Yeah, that's what's gonna happen. I can see that. Jaden seems nice, but I feel like I've not gotten to know her a lot through the Casa times, let alone now. I have seen the audience, I have seen like the public really back Caleb. I'm unsure why. I'm still seething that we lost Gabe and kept Caleb for Casa. Gabe in the Casa would have been nuts.
Menace.
Yeah, that would have been the demon time that would have activated. Would have been great.
And if Bea got to watch those clips of Gabe oh my God.
We've lost some people along the way. That's definitely true.
Yeah, it would have been a movie and a half. Yeah, so I think ultimately I nothing them respectfully.
That is where I'm at. And so it's unfortunate, not really getting a lot of screen time, so not a lot of podcast time. Let's talk about Pooya, could this be who you might have been alluding to as some of your new favorites? We finally get a date outside of the villa. Bryce and Trinity's week so far on Love Island. Pooya, how are we feeling about them?
I mean, are we looking at our winners? Truly. I feel like I'm gonna be very shocked as of right now for anything to change that trajectory. It was very sweet. I think where I really flipped and jumped on the bandwagon was Bryce revealing how he felt while he was at Casa, and then watching Trinity go through the exact same thing. And I don't feel like that connection is treated like we're better than you guys because we have this relationship, which I do admire. I feel like sometimes when there's a couple like that, they kind of hold themselves to like, okay, we are doing it right, you're all doing this experience wrong, which I'm not here for. It's fun. I'm not mad at it. I think what's interesting though is that Trinity has slowly and surely become like the spokesperson for the girls when there's friction, whereas Bryce takes a lot more of a quiet approach and just lets the boys like cook themselves, which is interesting. But I also think that shows their personalities as well. Bryce seems a lot more low key. Yeah, it's funny because I remember when we first met them, I genuinely felt like on a regular season, Bryce would have been the first one dumped because the vibe wasn't there for him with anybody. To have watched these two leave, come back, and then grow has been great.
I almost feel like I have as much to say about them, and this is going to sound not like I mean it, as much to say about them as I do about Jaden and Caleb, just because they're just happy in love, and like that's the story at this point, and like I love it. And when they are inevitably our winners, I'm going to be thrilled. I think that they represent what a Love Island winner like looks like in the most optimal way of just like truly like a happy love story of two people that come together. They're already they're not closed off, but they are boyfriend and girlfriend. So congratulations to them on that. Bryce really pulled one on those guys when he dropped that reveal. But yeah, I mean, they're just truly falling for each other and spending time getting to know each other more and opening up to each other more and talking about meeting each other's families. And my mom's going to like you. This is going to like you. And it's just like, it's so sweet. And like I said, I don't have a lot to add for the two of them because it's just, they're in love. And I love that for them.
Both of them come up in like the conversations about the other couples in the villa because they are kind of like the go-to peoples, whether it's like a Trinity being a little bit of the voice for the girls at times, Bryce having his relationships with Zach, with Trinity having her friendships in the villa. Trinity's so effortlessly funny that she is like one of my favorite people to like watch on an episode. I thought their date was really cute. I'm glad it happened. I know there was some speculation where Pooya, you mentioned, Bryce crying in the villa, and people are saying, oh, Bryce is a game player. They've planned this. They know that they're going to get back together. If Bryce was a game player, he would not be asking Trinity to be his girlfriend this early in the season. Usually on Love Island, you get, can we close things off? Will you be my girlfriend? And the first I love you. Those are three separate TV moments that make a winning couple. If you are really trying to gamify this, and Bryce just skipped a whole one. We'll see if we get to the I love you stage in the villa. I don't know. But I think a more seasoned game player is making more calculated moves.
True.
Yeah. So that's where I'm at. I think they're both cute. I think, do you think we get a Bryce and Trinity movie night clip or no?
Oh, are they going to say Hideaway? Which I was going to say yes. They're next in line.
Well, that
to
yes,
head over there for sure. Even though the French fries have been, being ordered often, but I mean, a movie night clip. There's nothing to show. They could try to mess it up a little bit and show, some of her with Corey, I think was like the most that she explored. And he was maybe making out with
Sydney.
Was it? I keep forgetting.
I don't think
Kelsey Matt
conversation.
Kelsey.
It would have to be like the night one footage of the Casa experience, right? Yeah, like there's not much really there. I could see more so if there's any clips of Bryce making any comments with the boys, or Trinity like gassing the girls up. That could be more so the clips we see from them, and not so much them as a couple.
Or Bryce and Zach clips that
that will happen.
Yeah, that will happen.
Yes, I mean, Trinity's aware of that, and she's been rubbing it in Zach's face, like I got your man locked down, which has been really fun. But like that's the only clips that I think you could genuinely show from Bryce to be like, maybe I don't know.
I think for Trinity and Bryce, it's the type of thing where I kind of hope they do get a segment, even if there is so much less to show, like in the villa, but it doesn't have to make the TV edit. Because, like, look, guys, we're being fair. We're showing all of the couples in
For
their
sure.
worst moments. And it's not just we're dunking on Casey and Sincere over and over and over. But I don't need to see it on TV because I don't think it's going to amount to anything. I don't think it really was anything. I'm not really all that
Are
concerned.
you telling me you don't think that what is behind door number 8 on the big screen is actually what was behind door number 8?
No.
Is that what you're trying to suggest to
No.
me?
Wow.
No.
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
no. I like when they have, like, shady
know.
titles. Like,
I do
I feel
too.
like I want them to be like, what the fuck is that? Let's check what
Yeah.
that one is.
No, they expedited this movie night. They said, writers, we don't have time for your brains to get moving. We need to get these clips on the screen.
Freaking AI doors. Yeah. I am I don't know. No, not to put that on them. I've liked movie night so far. I do miss the quippy little titles. I think they're a fun addition that got a little bit lost. Maybe they just put it together so quickly because they did crowdsource, like, from the audience, which moments do you want to see, submit those in, and so got to throw those in, and also because they wanted to show them in the order they wanted to show them in. But you could edit out of order. It would have been fine.
Hey, did they crowdsource or did they say, hey, give this post as much engagement as possible and hype us up on Instagram? They're smart. They know what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And very, very much so. All right, let's talk about a couple who I thought for a minute got away very clean.
I know where
Zach and Kayda start out this week pretty good. He chose her. He chose her over every girl in Casa Amor. Why would there be any issues, Kayda? Ligouri, what do you think?
I can't even because I want to go like that's where the headline was, right? Coming out of when they come back together, it's like, who's gonna tell her? Someone's got to tell her that he didn't just choose her. The person that he was with got removed. And it's like, okay, this night's not about him. It's about all these other guys, that there's bigger issues going on around here. We'll get to that. And like over the course of the past couple days, surely someone's told her. And she's like, okay, it's fine. But he told me that there was some kissing and it's fine. My jaw was on the floor at movie night here, just watching Kayda's face as she discovers for the first time that Alana was removed. And we saw the clip, which, for fans, we got to watch this clip on After Sun on Saturday night of the boys recoupling, which please give me those clips all the time. This is like the first time that I remember ever seeing it.
I think
love
they
that.
did last season.
I forgot, I guess, but love that. And so the girls getting to see this, and Kayda's like, wait, where's the one that you were kissing? She's not there. And they're like, oh, she wasn't there. Oh, was anyone gonna tell me that? Like, Zach is a little like, Zach should be innocent because he didn't do a whole lot at Casa. Like, there was some, but everybody did a little some. Maybe not like totally innocent, but innocent enough. But the fact that he didn't tell her this is insane. You're getting yourself into trouble here.
Zach frustrates me a lot, and there's parts where I find him very charming and I think, okay, like maybe I like Zach, maybe I don't. I think one of the more egregious parts of this is Zach is in bed with her saying, I love you multiple times. We even get it like on screen one time, and then the next morning it is, I'm just kidding, actually I don't mean that, oh, I'm just playing, what if I sleep with someone else, wouldn't that be crazy, oh, I'm just kidding. And says to her at one point in a conversation, if I wanted to bring her back, I would have. I chose you. That is explicitly a quote that he said to her, which is going beyond, I didn't say this because it doesn't matter. I said the stuff that did matter. And in fact, at least implicated lie, like saying that you had the option. So that's where Zach really annoys me, is I feel like he talks out both sides of his mouth quite often.
Yeah, I think Zach was probably the runner-up as far as people who wanted to stay with their original connection and realized it early enough, with being second to only one person and one person only in Bryce. But I also think he has been the runner-up to Sincere as far as implications, leaving things out, and then hoping that they just cover themselves up and he can move on, not giving the whole picture, and kind of putting himself into hot water there. I also think he gets very testy with some of the comments he makes to Kayda. We saw this before he went to Casa. He was like, what if I chatted up Melanie? How would you feel about that? Also, him saying "I love you" was weird in bed and he was like, "We're joking." She knew I was joking. I was like, "This is not funny." So if it's a joke, make it funny.
Yeah, the clip that was specifically for him got like brushed over pretty quickly. Although there was one like really funny Kayda line where they're bonding over their cats, and Kayda says like, "That is your family cat," like where he is portraying himself as a cat dad the whole time. And those cats could still be very important to you, but you are a cat sibling, sir. So I do not know. That got brushed over pretty quickly, but don't worry, Kayda is eagle-eyed. She spots in the background like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Where's Alana? Where is she? Yeah. And I was so happy. I don't know if the producers like highlighted a missing spot to make sure she saw, or they got lucky, because I was elated that this happened.
I just could not believe it. I genuinely could not believe that we had gotten this far, this many days away from the recoupling, and nobody told her. Like, what? Like, did she forget? I don't think so. I think nobody told her, and I think that is insane. This is an insane way to have found out that information. I thought it was also insane how much screen time she was getting, but hey, you got to show the Zach clips where you got to show the Zach clips and what he was up to. Zach, I mean, it's not even just all of this and what we're talking about at this time, but I think Kayda's also getting a little fed up with him, because when you have like, the KC and Corbin stuff happening, who's like the loudest one behind them that's like trying to defend them? And it's been Zach. And Kayda is, of course, with her girls defending all of them as they've, stuck together and really looked out for each other in all of this. And Zach is just like jumping in at every opportunity to be like, it's not that bad, or where's the you guys are hypocrites, double standard. And it's like, shut up.
There is always that guy who's like in a pretty secure relationship, but he's telling every other guy in the villa to cheat as hard as they can. And I don't think Zach was going that hard, but like he gets involved a lot in other people's business. I will say, was a little annoyed with Aniya here, being like defending Zach. Like, he always would have come back to you, Kayda. We all know he would have come back to you. And I was kind of like, let her be mad at him. Like, he lied. I don't think that you need to, and I know that she's probably trying to like smooth things over, make Kayda feel better, trying to comfort her, but I kind of want this to play out, first of all, obviously from a TV perspective, but also in like, let her process her feelings.
Yeah, look, nobody's perfect in there. We're all going through the emotions, but these two have been, pretty up and down.
Yeah. I want to flag one thing up that I've noticed Kayda does a lot as well. Kayda reacts first, I think, over anything. So even when like, and like, obviously we know why Alana's not in the villa or didn't stay in this house anymore. But like the immediate ew to just the two of them talking, I'm like, all right, we don't even know what they're about to say, Kayda. Maybe don't ew it out loud like that. But it kills me every time. It's so funny.
Kayda would be like the worst poker player. Like, you see her emotion on her face. And look, I relate to that. You see like the second she has a feeling, you can see it, and she's just got like this look. She'll like look off into distance, like, what the fuck is going on there? But then eventually it comes out verbally as well. So I'm kind of enjoying those reactions, but yeah.
I don't remember what exactly Zach said right before movie night loaded up and she got irritated with him. I was in stitches.
Really, really funny. Yeah, I do honestly. Is it something that I would like love in like someone that I am face to face with, the initial react? But for a TV character, I'm like, Kayda, please keep reacting. I am very much enjoying the ews and other random call outs that she is doing. So it will only make me stand harder, unfortunately.
And look, they'll enjoy their third place winnings or notoriety just as much.
High.
Really? You think that?
I don't know. I mean, there's 4 couples in the finale, but I'm not sure yet. I think people really like Kayda. I think Zach is dragging them down. I wonder how much with the like general public that is the case, and also just how much we are like the edit will be very pro Zach and Kayda towards the end, because I think that they're kind of gonna not have as many couples if some of these couples don't survive.
Jaden and Gall, third place, kicking Kayda and Zach out. I mean, just what the producers are hoping for at this point, I'm sure.
There we go. Now, let's talk about the couple that I feel like we left almost on a little bit of a cliffhanger. We're gonna get at least one more clip next week. We know we have at first. It's still a little bit rocky roads for Melanie and Sincere, but it's only gonna get rockier. How have you enjoyed Melanie and Sincere over the course of this season?
I'm exhausted. I feel like they're supposed to be our source of drama, and maybe now this movie night is about to give us the Sincere getting what's coming to him that he's been like getting away with for so long. But like Sincere's not the fun messy to me. Because he yes hands everybody, so it's not really like he's not getting anything comeuppance there. And I feel like with Melanie, it's been very fun to see her, build up Aniya. And it was very fun to see her be happy that Sincere makes it back alone, but then berate him immediately. But these two, I've kind of not nothinged, but I've kind of been like over it for a long time, especially because they keep coming back together. This isn't the what was the guy's name? Ekansu and
Davide.
Davide. Yeah. This isn't the Davide Ekansu story, right? Where the two of them were an item, hot, burning hot, then they separate, then they find each other again. This isn't that to me. Because I do think that with Sincere, he's a little spineless. So it's a lot of like, oh, I'm willing to explore, but then to her face, like, no, I'm not doing none of that. So it wasn't as enjoyable. But I think Sincere had my favorite movie night moment of the season so far. We'll see what next episode brings.
Oh boy. Yeah, I think it's hard because obviously we have Amora come in and stir up a little bit of doubt there where Melanie is already kind of like, I have mixed feelings on this. He's not making me feel good. I just have been so stressed for days on end. Even though Sincere is saying a lot of the right things, he's done that before. And now we have Amora coming in and saying Sincere used Casa Amor as a hall pass. Ligouri, did you think this was falling apart before we even got to movie night, or?
The Amora Sincere might have been my favorite of this entire I don't know, there's a lot of my favorite stuff, but first of all, she pulls him, says can we talk? He's like cooking, and she's like, no, let's talk now. And she's like ready to go in there. TC was hyping her up. The way this conversation ended with the two of them, when he drops, all right, big dog, and she goes,
crazy.
All right, big dog is crazy.
My God, it is crazy.
I lost it. I was like, he is trying, like, look, he's trying to make it very clear. He has no interest. I don't think he had interest then. I think he just wanted someone to cuddle. And I agree with her for sure that he was using her as a hall pass. Like, oh, we're supposed to be exploring and coupled up with somebody else, as if like, people that actually care about their relationship back at the villa don't always go and sleep outside, sleep in Soul, sleep somewhere else, like to show your respect for the person. Like, no, everybody just has to sleep in bed and spoon and maybe grind a little bit in bed. Like that's part of the Casa experience, even if you're in a relationship there, even if you like somebody a lot. So that's where Sincere's been at this whole time. But then this person, even though he's like, I don't actually have a connection with you, let's just separate and go our own ways. All right, big dog, good luck. You go get it.
I will say, as much as Amora insisting on the conversation happening right now was so enjoyable, my favorite part of it was when she walks up and says, oh, I would like to pull you for a chat, and Casey says, I would love that, and then realizes she's not talking to him and just freezes and like just completely malfunctions in the way that we're used to Corbin doing, like into the camera. He has no idea what to say next. I thought that was so freaking funny. Maybe my favorite like undercover moment of the week.
Sincere is just such a mess. I mean, with this whole with all of this, and it's like, I don't know, like, I guess I do understand. Well, no, I do and I don't understand, like, how Melanie keeps going back to him, because I think what I felt at the end of movie night, when all was said and done, we went back to all these clips of Sincere and Soul, and it was like, Melanie is trying so hard to believe what he's telling her, that, like, I'm choosing you. And I loved her line of, like, choosing me isn't the prize, respecting me is, because he keeps trying to say that, like, I chose you. Like, that's not what we're trying to talk about here. Like, you are sure, you chose me today and that whatever, but like every step along the way here has been you not respecting me and you exploring 10 times more and lying about it. And we get to see these clips, the full entire movie night, or the clip on movie night of the entire sequence of him making out with Soul getting up, Melanie walking into the room, Sincere lying about it again. He's lying about everything. And it's just like, she has this idea of what Sincere could be, and she really likes him a lot. She's obviously attracted to him. She wants wants to see a future with him, but he keeps proving her wrong. And these clips are making it so much worse, just to continue proving that he is not who she wants him to be. And there's nothing she can do about it. She's just gone down this road so many times of like, maybe, maybe now, maybe starting now. And it's like, well, we can't start now because I'm seeing footage now of more times that you lied to me than I even was aware of. This guy is a disaster.
I love Sincere being like, I'm not lying. I'm telling half truths. Sincere, what are the other halves? Like, he's forever an optimist, and I do appreciate that. Like, that's all nice. But when he's consistently coming back and saying, like, I want to be open and honest with you, I want to like be the safe space for you. Stop saying you want to be that, then just do it, because he has failed over and over.
Yeah, the half truths is so funny when the part of the truth that is there is, yeah, I kissed someone. And then the rest of the half is for 17 minutes, 3 makeouts. Like, it's a lot more than he's letting on. And I think that it's funny to me. And this is why when people talk about, oh, these Islanders are strategic, they know the show, they're here to make money, they're here for fame. I'm like, no, because clearly anyone with 2 brain cells would know that things like this will come out eventually on the show before the season's even done. So I don't think there's any calculation here on his part. I think he's just fucking around, and now he's finding out.
I really did, as much as I was like, Tiara, let Amora say it now in the big group chat. I did appreciate when she pulled her to the side and was like, you have no idea who Sincere is. This is a different person. You need to tell Melanie everything. I thought that was all really great. I am appreciating the Casa girls. I think that they have brought something to the show that has been generally very fun. But then when Amora does have that conversation, I don't think it like fully gets there. So I'm glad we finally have movie night, because even I had forgotten about some of these moments. Sincere telling Soul that he doesn't necessarily believe in love at first sight, but he knows that there's this feel. I was like, I'm going to scream all over. Like, I could not believe the past transgressions of Sincere.
Yeah, I mean, he was open to falling in love with her. And, like, I get it. She is stunning. She is one of the most bombshelly bombshells to ever bombshell. And so the fact that everybody, KC, even at the time of maybe being the most into Aniya, is turning his head and considering what if there was a world that I could explore Soul. But it's just, of course, every step of the way how he has continued to downplay what he's been doing, lying either straight up by omission, however you want to talk about how he's been going back to Melanie and reporting on this. And it's like, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out that he's been lying. Like, just the way that he goes into the lie, he's just like, no, it wasn't. It was just like, it was just a kiss. Oh, who pulled in who for the kiss? Oh, she Kenzie's doing the same thing in this episode. It's just like, these are all the worst liars you've ever seen.
Yeah. I will say my favorite part about this, beyond the direct back-to-back clips of like him calling both of them beloved, him saying the same things, it was so good. I only wish we could have had the split screen. I think that's my only critique. But to the fact that we were at the point, these boys who are defending the worst behavior we've seen all season at every point are going like, oh, this is so bad. This
don't look
so bad.
And it never ended.
Awful. And it just kept going and going and going. So I did, like, in a very, very morbid way, in a very cathartic way, enjoyed this. Like, okay, we finally have built to this all season, and finally we're here.
What did you guys think of the Sincere and Aniya stuff in this episode? Because that was like not expected for me. I mean, look, we're not used to like, I feel like the friendships that we see on this show are usually the guys with the guys, the girls with the girls. It's not all that often that we have like a good friend that one is a guy, one's a girl.
We get like
so
one.
Like, sometimes,
yeah. It's just like, it's rare, or it's more rare than
less highlighted for sure.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, definitely.
So when we like saw at the beginning of this most recent episode, the two of them talking, and I was like, oh, like, this is nice. They have a good connection. And then cut to movie night where Sincere is like coming after Aniya a little bit, and he's like, oh, I'm trying to do this as a friend. I didn't like it, most of that.
No, I think as a friend, the last thing I want as a friend is for you to single me out in a group of 15 people like that. As a friend, take me aside and be like, listen, that kind of was not the move or whatever.
I had earlier in the season kind of like noticed this of like, oh, it seems like Sincere and Aniya are, pretty decent friends. And it seems like Sincere is not always honoring that friendship in the best way. I do think that we stopped seeing their friendship scenes and started seeing him say some stuff that I didn't think she would love as we got further. So I was like, maybe they grew apart. But no, we make sure to highlight it here. And it was shades of like Serena and Kendall on season 6, where they had a super close relationship, cut to all of the things that Kendall was saying in Casa Amor. And then that was really highlighted. I felt like there were some points in which Aniya saw things that Sincere was saying, and she was saying to herself and all the other girls, like, really, Sincere? Like, come on. But that didn't get addressed until Sincere like tried to address her specifically. And for that, I'm a little sad. I hope that doesn't get let go and she just lets Sincere completely off of the hook, because I know that she is a big Sincere fan, a big fan of Sincere and Melanie. I hope that Aniya like holds him accountable for how he has wronged her as well.
Yeah.
So.
But it's Sincere. So ask how much hope I have for him to ever recognize, no, not any.
True. So we're wrapping up here on movie night. Half of movie night has been great. We see previews, get a little bit of Kenzie stuff. We're going to get another Sincere and Amora clip that I am very interested to see. Melanie does not look happy. Do you guys think there's anything else on your movie night wish list that we need to see left?
Zach's comments, side commentaries for sure. I think I would like to see. I
mean, it seems like Kenzie's going to get some highlight, and I feel like that's good at this point. I feel like that's, worthwhile to get her in there a little bit.
Yeah. One joke response I had seen online was that people were like, make KC watch no one picking him on night 1. So
yes,
I was like, that is
run it
okay,
back.
Guys.
When he was like all upset about that, he turned to Ariana and he's like, you feel me? Like, you remember that? And she's like, yeah, I remember. I was there. I was like, why are you bringing that up?
I don't think that every movie also has to be focused on one person or one coupling. I feel like in the past we had gotten, we might get the Zach and Bryce friendship clips, but I think we also could get the here is how the like boys in general were talking in Casa Amor. Like, I think that there is still stuff beyond the like, this is just the Sincere stuff. Like, let's see them as a group. So
yeah, and I don't know if they will show any more clips of some of the women and what they were saying along the way, but what the guys are not realizing is that or I don't know if they're not realizing or if they just don't care, that a lot of what the women were saying is in response to what the show showed them of the guys saying what they were saying the second that they split up, the second that they got to that couch ready for the heart rate challenge, and they were all starting to say things, the clips that were coming in, the pictures that were coming in, a lot of what the women were saying were in response to all of that. So they can be mad with the producers all they want that they were set up in such a way to go first and show their asses first, but
that annoyed me to no end when Zach is like, this is bullshit, we were good, and then they're messing it up. It's like, do you know what show you're on? Do you know what actions you took? I was so annoyed.
They kept saying like, oh, if they showed these clips out of order, if they showed the Aniya clips before, no, because that was in response to what the guys were doing that they saw. Like, you heard them say, right, that you were live streamed to the villa. Yep. Did you hear that, or are you like pretending?
Yeah. It was just one time that we talked about what pieces of garbage that you were and how we had no respect for you and how we were going to leave you all. So I don't really know why you're all hung up on that. It was like the guys were, doing what the guys have been doing, unfortunately.
Yeah. Yep.
But do you guys have any other points you want to jump in on this stretch of episodes before we end up wrapping up here?
I want to talk about the Jen and Kenzie conversation following
please
her finding out about the gall makeout and everything there, because I think one of the and we've talked about how Jen, you said your team Jen now, Scally. I think Jen saying to Kenzie's face, if we were not on Love Island, I would not be your friend anymore, was so real. And I really appreciate that, because I do think for Jen, it is kind of wild that, I was fine with it. I was trying to be fine with it. I know I'm a little bit jealous. I'm trying to deal with it. But finding out from Kayda that, so all of you knew the makeout had happened but me, that's shady. That's weird. And I think I did appreciate that we got to see that moment. And I did appreciate getting to see more from Jen, which is why, again, I'm rooting for Jen. The next bombshell better have Jen's name on it, because she is growing on me significantly.
I think there's more bombshells. I don't know if we're.
I mean, are we done? Is this it? Yeah. Is this the group?
I feel like we're done. We can't even vote people out yet. We thought we were going to have a vote on Sunday night, on Monday night, on Tuesday night. It's Tuesday night, and nobody.
Are we on an odd number now with Amora and
I think so.
Okay.
Because now there's 3 singles. It's technically Carl and Aniya are both singles still. They're sleeping in separate beds. There's not enough beds, I think, for them to get in the same bed together. But
oh my God. I mean, if it's gonna be a recoupling with the boys, then and they're only gonna get rid of one, Jen could be the one leaving, for all we know. If Gal just goes in and picks some more or something like that. But
unfortunate.
I did like that conversation. I think that was a very fun one to see.
I loved that conversation. I would not be friends with you outside of here. Like, okay, Kenzie blaming it on just like, oh, it was just shitty timing. Like, I mean, I guess, but also, you've said you were going to be open and honest. The fact that Kenzie went to Dylan after that, also, I understand that he is someone that you feel comfortable within, but to have Dylan be like, no, I really actually get Jen's point of view, had me screaming.
I see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that I'm excited for the with Kenzie, because I think Kenzie's been one of the main perpetrators of the word lustful becoming part of the lexicon this season. It's gonna be a lusty supercut, I think, for Kenzie. So I'm curious how the villa takes it, and I'm curious where we go from there.
Yeah. I do think that I think even in the preview it's like, oh my God, like people are shocked. And I think that some of the earlier complaints of like Kenzie's exploring a lot, Kenzie's done, been so lustful, but I don't even have a problem with the exploring. It is, she has started to verge on the like less transparent exploring that they had been getting on some of the guys for. So I understand where a lot of the criticism is coming. And especially, as I said, how would Kenzie feel about it in the situation that makes it all annoying.
I'm mad at the producers, is my final thought. They've been doing some good stuff. But in this episode, they pissed me off on the last day of Pride, using the current gay national anthem in this episode. This is not a gay enough show for you to include the updated it's not updated that version of all the things remix. She said, the remix. Yes. You are no unless Bryce and Zach actually kissed. No.
I think the Harrison remix version of all the things she said, obviously as popularized by Heated Rivalry recently. I was also like, wait, I'm surprised they're not using this during a Bryce and Zach segment, but also I'm happy they're not using this during a Bryce and Zach segment, because I think that would have been truly like, that's when we get into like stolen valor.
Sure.
Like, I mean, either kiss or don't.
We just didn't need to put it here. Like it's a very popular song right now, just coming out of, a couple of months of Heated Rivalry craze, but not on this show. Sorry.
Did I sing along? Yes.
Yeah, but no, not for you.
I may have slowed down the episode to 1x to enjoy it in its true authentic way it was supposed to be.
It's good.
They could have used like the Matt and Bowen version, if nothing else. I mean, just to like mix it up a little bit. But
say that even gayer version. But yeah, I was excited it popped up nonetheless. But now that we've gotten through everything, let me go ahead and ask you, if people want to hear more from you guys. Ligouri, where can people find you if they want to check out more?
They can find me with you very often over on the Free Agents podcast, where we're talking about all the old school seasons of the challenge as we wait for new seasons of the challenge to air, which it will air sometime soon. Maybe. Again, I'm also dragging Scally into more Love Island discussion on Patreon so that I can get all of these feelings out, with somebody to talk to them about. And so we've been doing that. Also, Big Brother season is here. And so make sure you're checking out the Diary Room podcast with myself and Aman. This week that you're hearing this episode, the lovely Liana Boris was on the podcast with us. I don't know if everybody on the panel is familiar. At least I think so. Right. Well, so Liana joined us this week, and next week, one more episode before we take a bit of a break, but we'll be joined by Big Brother 27's own Morgan Pope to be with us on the podcast. So check that out as we get into the BB28 of it all. Excited for that season, but so excited to have been here with you guys talking some Love Island. It's been a crazy season. I'm sure it's going to be a crazy finish, but that's that.
And Pooya, if people are looking for more from you, where can they find you at right now?
There's a couple of places you can find me. If you're looking for me off pod, find me on Twitch, twitch.tv/Pooya. That's where I'm going to be, especially with Big Brother coming up. There's going to be a lot of streams there. But as podcast, I just wrapped up The Traders New Zealand with Annabelle. A very fun season. I do recommend it. It's 10 episodes. It's an easy watch. Do yourselves the favor to do that. Liana and I will be recording a Pooya and Liana Lounge, a PAL episode for this week. Yeah, there's not been one for a minute, but we'll explain everything. It'll be fine. And then myself and Annabelle also will be catching up with some 90 Day over on the Hot Mess Express podcast. So make sure you check that out for your 90-day recaps there. And Big Brother, I'll be there. When the feeds are back, I'll be there on the Fridays. You already know. You already know what we do. Red Bull in hand and eyes barely open, but vibes at a 10.
Ooh, all right. Well, first of all, thank you both for coming on. This has been so much fun. Thank you for also making this podcast extremely easy to do. This was a great time. If you're looking for me, first of all, you can check out anything I'm doing on social media at Brian_Scally, or I'll be looking at the 5-star reviews on the We Know Love Island feed. Go ahead and leave those there. Let me know how you liked movie night. What do you think? What am I forgetting? What should they be putting in movie night next time? Go over there. And if you're looking for more Love Island, obviously Kirsten with the dailies every day, and Rob will be joined by some special guests tomorrow. Myself and Kirsten, unfortunately, both will not be able to be there. So go ahead and check out Rob live tomorrow on the We Know Love Island, or actually maybe today at the time you are listening to this. So go check that out on the We Know Dating Show's YouTube channel. Otherwise, thank you both again. This was super fun. Can't wait to talk about the rest of movie night again when Kirsten comes back. I will see you all next time.
This is RHAP. We know reality TV.